Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Legion 99 podcast, your source for the latest tactics, news, battle reports, hobby talk, and general Legion chatter. All right, welcome, everybody, to another episode of Legion 99. I'm here with Keegan, as always, and we have a guest with us. It's that guy, Jay Shalansky from the 5th Trooper Network.
Well, hello, boys. That was a little alarming. You guys didn't do a count in or anything.
Yeah,
so, we just jumped right in. Just jump right in.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah. We talked about professionalism and show notes. That is part of it too. We just jump right in. We're just like, we're here. We exist. Yeah. It's Legion time.
I also like to leave that open because that's where the best outtakes possibly come from. Is just when it's not clear. You know, we don't like to go on scripts here with countdowns and things like that, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, really, on our stuff, you know, the countdowns are just for me for editing because we end up like I hit record and then we talk for like 20 minutes before we actually start the podcast. You know, most of the time, so I have to find the count in order to make the right cuts.
That's fair.
I said a long time ago, and we don't really do it, that we should just start recording as soon as we like get here, and we don't do that. So
yeah,
so we don't get like real silly outtakes and things like that. Hopefully,
yeah, we don't get all the silly outtakes, but we also don't accidentally record things that should not be preserved for the future ever. So it's a trade off. But some of you may notice that we are actually also. You may have found us on YouTube right now. And if you're just listening to our dulcet tones, then we're on YouTube now. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But Jay, welcome as always.
Hey, thanks, boys. Love what you do here. Real excited about things.
I'm glad to hear that. We'll cover some cool news here today. We'll cover some cool news in general. We'll cover some. We skipped events last time because we were doing a DevCon recap. So we'll double down on our upcoming event coverage, and then what else did we get news on?
We got the Ahsoka article, so we have all of her command cards and everything now. So
awesome! I've
been building lists.
Yes,
so exciting. But first of all, happy Rex Manning Day, everybody. Y'all know, yeah. I assume everybody.
Rexy, you're so sexy.
Yes, happy Rex Manning Day, not Captain Rex. Rex Manning Day, the real Rex.
That may be one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a good one. Yeah. I'm sure Mike Cirillo has not seen it.
He has not. Yeah. It's a movie, therefore he has not seen it.
It's a movie. Yeah.
Happy Rex Manning Day, everybody. Right? And,
yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got also that there's an exclusive model or models that I'm really sad that I'm probably not going to get because it costs a fortune.
Yeah.
But so why is Jay here? That's what we should start with, right?
Do we have any revolutionary game uplink announcements to come?
Because I'm the best Legion player in the world. That's why I'm here.
I mean, you aren't the worst Legion player in the world, probably.
It's true. And I feel like you've gone undefeated for some time, perhaps by not playing.
That's how I do it. I go to a tournament, do well, and then I go, I'm going to hold this high for a while. So
nobody beat me. Oh, it's 3-0 drop. Nobody beat me. So I went undefeated.
What's the decay on ELO these days?
Dude, I'm not on ELO.
I know that's a lie because you and I are right next to each other at some point.
Are we still? Yeah. Well,
no, I doubt it.
Mean, we're like at like 200. We might as well practically not even be on it.
150-ish. At some point.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. But no, Jay's here for another reason. We had, all three of us were out in Chicago, and it was as always good to reconnect and see what was going on in the Legion community. We talked about that a little bit last time, and in the immortal words of things, Jay kind of made an offer that Nick and I felt.
Made us an offer we couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
He could have. It would have been fine.
Halfway through saying that, I was like, it wasn't even that compelling of an offer, but we were
bored.
Yeah, we're bored.
Here we are.
For anyone looking to start up a hobby media empire, just good enough is all you need to do to make the offers. No, we're excited to share that we are going to be joining, brought to you by the Fifth Trooper Network for a while.
Yeah,
see how this
works out. I love that he put a timeline on it.
Yeah,
we're gonna feel it out.
Yeah, I got a little life change going on. Nothing. It's a lease. Nothing lasts forever.
I don't remember that part of the negotiations. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. It's one of those things that I think for all of us seemed like a no-brainer. You guys have a great podcast. Not that I've ever listened, but everyone says you guys have a great podcast. And so
for the record, we know that puts us exactly equal with every other podcast to include your own.
At the very least.
That's exactly right. I don't listen, even the ones I edit, I don't listen to. I really, the whole idea behind this is like just strength in numbers for the community and community members. And really, for me, it's just about helping support you guys and your audience and making sure that, we continue to put out great content for this game that we love. And, however I can support that. And, I know a lot of people joke in the community that we're like the evil empire, like sucking up systems and stuff. But for me, it's about putting out quality content, but also I think you guys have seen this a little bit, in behind the scenes in our Discord server, but it's just about supporting all the content creators too, and making sure that everybody has the tools and the wherewithal and everything that they need to continue making good content, so that's the whole purpose behind this. And, there's nothing's going to change for you guys listening or for, nothing negative anyways, hopefully it's all positive things. I'm very excited to have you guys on board and just part of the team and part of our little crew,
Yeah,
little. I think it's like 20 or 30 people now, but
right?
It's definitely getting bigger. One of the things that on top of just kind of creating quality content, I think it's also for me a recognition that our community continues to grow and grow and grow and grow, and we're getting to the point where we've got potential, and we're going to talk about some of these. I mean, the list of events that we've got to talk about today is huge, and I see it through 6UP, I see it through Game Up, like more and more Legion is happening, and we want to be a part of being able to support like really deliberate and intentional Legion. Things like Nick does so much with terrain and tables and event organization, and we want to make sure that he's able to keep doing that. We don't burn him out. So spreading some of the stuff that's less fun over to Jay's plate makes a ton of sense for us.
Yeah. And and it's stuff we're doing anyways, and we've got Scoundrels and the Fifth Trooper, and I think you guys fit a great space within our roster, and I know there's always some overlap because we all talk about like new units and the news of the day or whatever, but I think everyone has unique views, and it's just great. And we're at the Fifth Trooper, we're pumping out more content than ever now, and bringing on the boys here, and we've started 2 other podcasts about other games and gaming in general, and so we're really excited about being a place where people can come and experience gaming and have a good time and have a conversation and just really celebrate gaming and playing games,
Yeah, we're real excited.
You sound
obviously
excited.
Yeah, no, we are.
It's so hard
to say.
We're excited.
Taking it all in. We're very excited.
Yeah. And with that being said, let's get to the script that Jay gave us. Something about housekeeping and Patreons and stores, and don't fucking mention 6UP supply. What?
Right? No. That is no. I mean, listen. I am going to mention the Patreon. So here's the thing, real quick. I'm going to give you guys the pitch for the listeners. If you want to support these guys and the content they're putting out, if you want to support the blog, if you want to support all the other podcasts, at the Fifth Trooper, we pay our staff, and all of that money comes out of the Patreon. Like, that is very specifically something. I don't touch the Patreon money for anything else except for paying the staff. And so when you support the Patreon on the Fifth Trooper, you get cool quarterly awards, but then also you're supporting these guys and really like helping them continue, because, you know, it's not free to run any of this, any of the podcasts or any of this stuff, right? It costs money. And so like being able to have you guys like a pledge drive for NPR or whatever, that's basically what this is, right? If you love local public radio, you know, send us your support. That's what's going on. And so I won't pitch it anymore. That's just the pitch. So if you support the Patreon Fifth Trooper already, thank you so much. Your hard-earned money is going to these gentlemen for doing all the hard work that they've been doing and making it a little bit easier for them to do this every couple weeks.
And you get access to a pretty cool Discord server if you join a Patreon.
That's right.
Yes.
Which I plan to be a little bit more active in than like I can't like I end up I'm on my feet. I'm not in front of a screen all day. So like I don't get into the conversations in the Legion Discord very often because it's like there's so many people and it just moves so quickly. But like, you know, I plan to engage a little bit more. Like I engage in my local server and like I plan to engage in this server a lot once this podcast episode releases, because we weren't like, you know, we wanted to tell people ourselves.
Right. Yeah. Well, the neat thing about our server is a little bit more direct access to all of the content creators on our team. So like we have like a list building idea channel where you can like pick the brains of Keegan or Nick or Kyle or Evan, you know, and you can ask them what they think about your list. So you have access to that. You know, also we do another podcast on the Patreon as well called The Fifth Trooper After Dark, where we're a little bit more unchained than we are on all of our other podcasts. And we also deep dive topics that like sometimes get passed over on podcasts because, you know, like today, there's a ton of content we have to get to today on this cast. And so like, if you want to hear more about Ahsoka or like playing her deep dives into her stuff, you know, you can, the After Dark podcast, we deep dive into stuff like that. So, and Keegan's been on the After Dark podcast already once, and, you know, it'll be interesting to have both of you guys on a rotation at some point and come on and talk about, you know, deeper dive in this stuff and your real feelings about joining the Fifth Trooper.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think now, especially now that you're on YouTube, you can just read our real feelings on our face. So.
Yeah, and the deep sighs that you guys keep giving, as if you didn't make this decision, as if it was made for you. But yeah, that's the other thing. If you're listening on audio,
so I don't get fined.
Yeah, that's right. Keegan already alluded to it, but if you're listening to audio, this is now going to be a video podcast as well. We're putting it up on the Fifth Trooper YouTube channel, so that's exciting. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's something people have asked me about more recently. Like, are you guys ever gonna? And then it was like, oh, well, when you join, we can do a YouTube upload. I was like, oh, well, that fixes that problem.
Yeah, this fixes a few problems. Nick and I we wanted to do more with y'all, but we didn't want to actually do the work.
Yes, exactly.
So now we have the Legion 99 Discord. It just says the Fifth Trooper, but you can talk to us or catch us on YouTube. It does mean that we have to shower, or I do at least ahead of time.
This is also cast in Smell-O-Vision. So Muppet 3D or something.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a great idea. Next week, the Fifth Trooper 4D.
Showering is for smell a lot, but it's not the only reason you shower. You guys know that, right?
Anyways, I don't know where to transition off of that one, but let's maybe we're actually seeing our first Keegan does Adobe Premiere transitions. To
just let it slide. So, let this go. Everything's fine.
Yeah, much like showering technique, just the gravity method. Let it slide past. So, anyways, also Jay is not permanently joining the cast for anyone who's has not yet rage quit and is still worried about that.
Yeah, just hang in there.
Yeah. We will. You're of course welcome to swing on by as you have in the past.
Well, thank you. It's very kind of you
I think
to allow me to come on.
Yeah. The fun part that I'm looking forward to on this is Jade runs a very tight shop over on the East Coast, but there's an entire continent in between him and me. And so I have no fear of his willingness to drive 11 hours to be a pain in the ass in person to me. So
11, it's like 30.
Oh, that's I was just saying you drove to Chicago and that was 11 hours. I figure that's your outer radius of.
I think so. Yeah.
I would think California there would be like closer to 40 hours too. It's pretty far.
I think it's a week.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you stop for like bathroom breaks and stuff.
Wide mouth bottles. You can and diapers. You can make it. There's what was that NASA astronaut?
I mean, they make some weird shit nowadays.
That's true. Yeah. And in theory, if you're coming out to California just to berate me, you probably are well over that psychopath scale. So
yeah.
But anyways, we are looking forward to having more guests in.
Yeah,
we'll pull from the Fifth Trooper. Who knows? Maybe I'll get my life sorted out and spin up Turn Zero lists, and maybe that can be pulled from the Patreon group. So
yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And I think I don't know if anyone's questioning this right now out in podcast land, but nothing's going to change with the RSS feed. So you guys just keep doing what you're doing for the audio. Nothing will change there. Yep. It's just the addition of the YouTube channel. So everything else stays the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consistency. Okay.
Everything's good. We did it. All right. That's the end of the podcast, right?
It is not.
There's nothing to talk about here.
There's nothing to talk about
because we don't have Ewoks yet.
Join us every other week to hear about the Trooper Patreon and then sign off.
No,
not what's going to happen.
Now I'm texting Jay every day asking when the Ewok pre-orders are coming.
Yeah, right.
That's a good point.
They released. I think this is knowledge for everyone. That's critical.
Absolutely.
They've released the May and early June release schedule for Asmodee, and they do not have Ewoks on them now.
Damn it!
So that could change, but that's just the release schedules that I have right now. Do not have Ewoks.
When's Ahsoka come out? May, right?
No, April, I think, or May.
Yeah, it's April now. Cody's April.
Oh, and it's April now, right? Yeah. So yeah, Cody's April, and then Ahsoka's May. I thought for sure, because I don't know if you guys saw, but Return is coming back to theaters, and so I thought for sure they were going to do Ewoks like mid-May for like the anniversary.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
I think that was like the intention, but like they can't really control
shipping. Yeah, dude.
It's like I expected when I saw Ahsoka was releasing in May, I assumed that Ewoks would probably be the June release. Like I was just hoping early June. Like, I want to see, obviously I want to see like the people, all my locals go to ACO and then just like have Ewoks just run all over the tables because it's exciting and that's what I want to see.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So anyway,
maybe this is the biggest release of surprise announcement at the end of Star Wars Celebration this weekend that Legion Ewoks will be available in May.
That would be great.
It certainly would outshadow anything else that's been announced this weekend.
Yeah. For sure.
For me, it would. That Ahsoka trailer was bomb. The Ahsoka trailer was bomb. But if I found out that Ewoks were releasing at the end of May, like I'd probably start celebrating early. Like,
I would legitimately forget everything else that they've talked about.
I don't care about anything else at this point. Like it's all leading up to Ewoks. That's it.
Yep.
Like that's all it's about. Like this is essentially what convinced me to join the 5th Trooper, because I wasn't sure about Jay, and I was like, how do you feel about Ewoks? And he was like, yes, Ewoks all of the time. And I was like, yep, we just became best friends.
Yeah,
it's literally what happened.
Good or bad, I don't care. I'm playing them. It's happening. 100%.
I'm glad you two had that conversation in person, because it makes it clear that neither of you listens to each other's podcasts, because you both won't shut the fuck up about Ewoks.
Yeah. Hey, I for sure don't listen to this podcast.
I'm on board with them. I'm excited about them too. I'm just naming that this should not have been a surprise to either of you if you were even marginally connected to each other before. So that's that's a good
you know what, with that attitude, I've got a new 5th Trooper mandate: all Ewoks all the time. Every podcast is an Ewoks podcast.
We are the official Star Wars Legion Ewok podcast.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's all right. I think, I could probably dodge that because I'm not going to be playing Chris Cook anytime. So it's not the 5th Trooper mission, spite mission.
Dude, I'm going to ram him down his throat. I don't care if his son's world champion or not. And embarrass him in front of his whole family with Ewoks.
That's so rude. Okay. Well, there was not announced at Star Wars Celebration, but like last week they announced a pretty sweet alt model set for Legion. Yep. And you've probably already seen it and heard about it, because like I think people are buying them, and I'm very jealous because I probably won't get one.
You talk. I'll look up the eBay rate these days.
Oh, it's bad, man. I considered bidding on one yesterday. It was like $500, but I'm like, there's no way it ends at $500.
No,
and that's still way more than I'm willing to spend on it. So,
all right, I'll give you guys a little tease. So probably next week, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of it, and then also, there is a 80% chance that we're going to be giving one away across the network.
Nice.
Whoa.
So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Jealous, very jealous. I have a friend who's there. He doesn't play Legion. I used to play Imperial Assault with him, actually. And I realized he was there because he goes to every Star Wars Celebration, and I messaged him like, hey, I'm like, I know we don't talk a lot, but I was like, if there's any chance you can get this for me, I would be eternally grateful. And he was like, dude, he's like, I was actually at the booth today, but I got there late, and they were like, oh yeah, we sold out for the day. He's like, so I'll try and get one. He's like, but he's like, I don't, it's like, I think it's usually a thing where you can pay extra money to get in early, and they're all gone at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like the same people go every day. So it's like 80 out of the 189 of them are sold to the same 89 people who got there first, because they know that this pays for 2 of them pay for their entire trip.
Yeah. So, well, and the other problem is in the past, they used to let the vendors do it too, right? So when Vader was out, and I think the Obi-Wan and Essence spiel, same thing, where it was all the vendors had early access and snapped them all up, and then the actual players, regular people, couldn't get to them. But yeah, that's a real dicey thing that people do with stores too. When they get kits or the Lukes, they'll sell them instead of doing what they're supposed to and give them out to the players. And if you're a store and you're listening and you do that, bad store.
You saw that a lot with the Lukes. I saw a few stores selling the Grogu's too, which was wild to me, because it's the amount of plastic in that. It's this.
It is not much plastic.
It's somebody asked me if I wanted one of those. I'm like, no. Why not? I'm like, it comes with 2 models. Where do I care?
I got offered one. I don't take it, but
oh, you got offered one what?
Soup Cup Grogu.
Oh yeah, well,
he's a Grogu stand. That's the problem.
Yeah,
one of our local stores. The way they distributed those was terrible, because one of our local stores got 12, and then the other one got 0, and they were like, nope, you guys don't get any, and it was feels bad, man.
Yeah, that's where we are. They gave away a bunch through a few different tournaments we had, but
that's nice.
We're recording on Saturday the 8th, so by the time this drops on Monday, who knows where these will be? But right now, the lowest 900 strike me down. Well, there's a 900, but I see a 550 right now, but I'm sure that's going up.
Yeah,
So I take back that giveaway. we're not getting any. It turns out. Yeah.
Also,
No. They,
yeah. Also, you don't need to set up for Patreon anymore either. For the Troopers funded.
It's really cool, and it reminds me of like because the MCP has a few of them like that. Like they've got the Spider-Man and Doc Ock with the diorama, and they've got the Wolverine and Sabretooth that comes with like the Weapon X facility bunker or whatever. I would like to see these things pop up like in a way that I could get them. Like I hope we see things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess coming to Gen Con.
Right? Yeah, I won't be at Gen Con, but I would,
Well, how are we supposed to find out where you're going to be? Like, one's not going to pop up in your apartment, dog.
It should. Like, it should pop up at.
Sometimes it does. Actually,
it's fine. PAX Unplugged. It's fine. Send it there. No, I'll get one next year. It's fine. So I tripped into one of those limited edition Vaders in like one of the Facebook swap groups, and like I played Legion stocks with it, and I traded it for like an Obi-Wan, and then I sold the Obi-Wan for like $600. It was great. Yeah. Whoa.
Yep. I paid $200 for the Vader, and then was putting it together, and the resin lightsaber snapped off and disappeared into the mess of my garage.
Oh my god!
And I had that moment of just this is a one-way door. There's nothing, no going back from this. Fortunately, many years later, I still had only just primed it and not finished painting it, so there was there's just a glut of lightsabers in the mall box that I was able to clip one. And
yes.
Oh, nice. Yes,
there are quite a few there.
Well, dude, I was thinking about like, oh, hey, if I get one of these Luke, Vader, Palpatine ones, like, I'm like, my God, I don't even know if I want to take it out of the box, try to paint it. Like, I'm just going to ruin it. Like,
I'm going
to, like, ruining this beautiful thing and not being able to like do it justice. But we'll see.
I might save it for like a staycation and paint it like, just like,
well, you're good. You're really good at painting. So like, I think you would do. Yeah. I'm not. I love doing terrain. I'm terrible at figures. I don't have it in me.
I prefer painting terrain at this point, but I'm probably like, there's different things, but I better prefer painting terrain, the amount of terrain I have. So it kind of adds up. But yeah, good luck to everybody who managed to get one. I'm jealous. It's pretty great. But that was like, we did also get Ahsoka's article, the official article with all of the cards.
Do you want to talk that first, or do you want to tease that and talk events first?
Let's talk. Let's do the events first, because we have a lot of events that we have that have been requested for plugging. And I'm going to just start with like the first one that I have here.
Chronologically.
So the Richmond Open is May 6th and 7th. It is 3 rounds. And then a top cut on Sunday. It's being run by John Brader of Imperial Terrain. He did Nova Open last year. I believe it's richmondopen.net is where you can buy tickets, but there's a link in, I believe, the Legion Discord in the upcoming events channel. They ran that event last year the same weekend as Rocky Top, and it kind of got buried. I know that they're hoping the attendance is a lot higher this year in general, but it should be a pretty awesome event. And next up, we have Bay Area Open, Iron Weld, and Rocky Top are all Memorial Day weekend. Rocky Top is way sold out. I don't know about Bay Area Open. I assume it's not.
Nah, tickets still available. I just dropped a link bomb in the 5280 Discord last week, just to see what insanity would happen if the horde came down off the mountain into the bay. So, are you going to that one? I am, yeah. And actually, this will probably be my only major that I can make it to this calendar year. So I'm really looking forward to it. Years past, it was associated with KublaCon, which it goes on at the same time in the hotel right nearby. But this year, formally associated with FLG and Bay Area Open, and it's Nima's going to be running it along with another crew that always helps support that.
Nima. My nemesis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He's the sweetest man.
Yeah, he's
the sweetest man.
Don't listen to them. He's a monster. He's a stone cold killer.
Yeah. He's one of the most recognizable and public figures to prove Jay's statement at the beginning of the cast that he's the best Legion player completely wrong. Yeah. He's far from the only one, but he's definitely one of the ones.
Nima beat Jay publicly and then retired. He doesn't play anymore. He just runs events.
He
just like judges and runs events. But yeah,
I actually blame his second win on Keegan because he was judging. So that's
perfect collusion.
Yeah,
they're both from California. It makes sense.
He would have beaten you.
Collusion there.
No.
You didn't need the help I gave him.
I watched the rest of the game too.
Everyone did.
Yes. But yeah, Bay Area Open tickets still available, and it's right up by the San Francisco airport. So convenient to fly in and convenient to, there's a ton to do in the Bay Area for families too if you're flying in with a pack. So.
And because so we were told that the new season starts May 4th for organized play, or the next season. And so the assumption is that a lot of these events starting like later that month and onward will probably be working pretty hard to have events. None of that's official yet. So, But I believe that they're all three of those events that weekend are probably all working to contact OP to see if they can promise Worlds invites and stuff like that. But Iron Weld's up in Massachusetts. I know that one is not sold out, but and then the 2 weeks later, June 11th and 12th, out in Durham, North Carolina at Atomic Empire, they're having what they're calling the Maximum Firepower event. Currently, the outline is 5 rounds with a 50-player cap, but they are trying to raise it to perhaps 64 players. Nice. And they are planning to offer invites via organized play support. So presumably, I would think anything in June would probably almost certainly have enough time to work out how that all works out now. Not exactly sure yet. And then the following weekend is the Indy Open. I got to play one of the guys from that area at Adepticon. And he reminded me that they are having the Indy Open June 16th and 17th. It's a Friday and Saturday event, which is a little different. But basically the way he explained it is that they are using like a church's facility. And because of that, they got it extraordinarily cheap, so they can't have it on Sunday, but they can basically use all of the money on prize support and everything else. So check that out. They have a website up for, I think it's like indyopen.net or something like that, but that should be great. And then further down, Gen Con, we talked about it. That's late July, correct? If I'm right, or is it August?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. Something like that.
I think it might be both. I think it might straddle the weekend.
It might be both. Okay. I don't go to that. So I don't know. Maybe one day. That will almost certainly be a qualifier type event because it always has been in the past. And then Nova Labor Day weekend, there's still, I think, a few tickets available according to Hob. So, and then the following month is Crucible, which is the prize support keeps rolling in. I keep seeing Jordan advertise all of that. So I'm excited to go to that, spend some more money in Florida this year. Sounds great. I'm a tourist. What can I say? That's pretty much it. There's like a lot of other FLG events coming up as usual. But I'm starting to like gear up and start thinking about early December when PAX Unplug happens in Philly.
Nice.
I don't have a confirmation on like a date, but it's always, except for 1 year, it was always that first weekend in December.
Okay.
Right after Thanksgiving. So I would, if I was a betting man, I would bet on that. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm obviously going to work really hard to get world invites for that too. So
nice.
pack that house. I already told the guys in charge, and they said they're going to work on that. So make that a priority. A lot of events. Tons of events.
Events everywhere.
All right. So we got the Ahsoka cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am excited.
They are exciting.
I think I've hinted at it or said it out right here before, but I'm just going to double down. I'm pretty sure Ahsoka is going to be what gets me to swing back and play around with Rebels seriously again. I'm excited about this.
That one pip.
Yeah.
So disgusting.
Yeah.
We already got our unit card, and I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago when we recorded. Pretty sure. Not really anything super exciting on the unit card, so not any like that we haven't seen. Defend one
as an Anakin player, I'm excited about Defend one. I think that's a great
like that sort of thing. But she's got 4 command cards, just like Asajj.
Yep.
So we were all kind of wondering what the 4th card would be when it said it had a 4th card, but it's a team up card with Sabine.
Yes.
Yeah, I think when we were doing Scoundrels, it was before they announced the cards, and we were trying to guess. And I think we were all like, "Well, Sabine's really the only one besides Mando and Luke that she's met in the Rebels era, right?" So it's
I forget that like she like did like fight alongside Mando that one episode. I forgot.
Yep.
About that.
Yeah, and she was at Luke's academy.
That would have made a lot of
while,
sense.
You know?
Yep. But so should we start with family reunion? The 2-pip, a 2-pip, because she has multiple 2-pips. Because
you want to you want to finish with that 1-pip? Is that what you're doing?
I guess I don't know. I don't have a plan. I'm not. I just said, hey, let's talk about these cards because they're here.
Not what your show notes said. You had a plan.
I had a plan, and I'm ignoring it. Well, I didn't say, hey, we're starting here and we're ending here. So family reunion: Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren. Ahsoka Tano gains teamwork Sabine Wren. At the start of Ahsoka's activation, Sabine Wren may perform a speed 2 move. At the start of Sabine Wren's activation, Ahsoka may perform a speed 2 move. That's really good.
Yep.
That's amazing. Plus teamwork. I've been scheming Ahsoka Sabine-less, and I want to fit Clan Wren too, but it's just like they're just so too expensive.
Yeah.
It's just a meme.
Yeah. Not gonna happen, sir.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we've all seen this free speed 1 moves and how powerful they are, and all the way back to No Time for Sorrows and the various other ones. But
this is
speed 2 moves on your power pieces, the pieces that will likely dominate the list.
Yep.
And one that is speed 3 normally, one that can be speed 3 for the rest of the round too. That's a way. No one was in was it the Monty Python thing where they're looking over and the single knight's charging, and he's always so far away, and then all of a sudden he's just he's running through. That's what this card does for Sabine. So
and it's speed 2 moves are that's a lot of space.
That's a lot.
It's it's real, and then teamwork is really good. I've been using whenever I play Sabine lately, I put up close and personal on her because she has gunslinger. It just makes sense. Like range 2 gunslinger, just take it all the time. So it's I'm just imagining how many dodges Ahsoka's going to have that turn. Because Sabine's going to activate and shoot. And then teamwork, give me more dodges. It's going to be great. So much fun. And this was interesting. So I was running.
It's going to be fun. For a year. I was running a Sabine OP Luke list, and as soon as this came out, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll just swap Ahsoka out." And now, because Luke and Sabine don't really work well together; they're more doing their own things on either side of the board. But this is much better, and I put together a 10-act list. I still have 22 points in this, and it's Rebel Officer, Ahsoka, Sabine, Rebel Vets, blasters, and 3 snipers. And it's I don't know, that could be a real nasty list, especially with that 2-pip is so good for that.
Yeah. I am, man, I really just wish Clan Ren was cheaper. Why did they make Inferno so much cheaper and not Clan Ren? It's not fair. It's just not fair. Rebels always getting punished. Here we are.
For anyone who knows me before, I ran Republic. I'm building a Sabine Ahsoka Jin framework. And I'm really trying to figure that out.
I remember playing your that list. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of fun with that. And I think there's Jin just infiltrating, popping, being that Courage 3 bubble for the entire rest of the army, moving around, and she can stay hidden and do all sorts of fun tricks. Complete the mission with the new suppression rules, panic rules. Just can be a turn 6 game winner.
Seems good.
Other 2-pip.
Other 2-pip.
Swift Protector.
Yeah, this one's really good too. Also, the art on all of these cards is just like outrageous, and I want
I love it. Yeah. I love it. It's great art, and it's from like, so each of them is from one of my favorite like Rebels moments.
It's very clear which version of Ahsoka we have here.
Yes,
like where this Ahsoka existed in time.
Yeah,
this is good. Swift Protector.
Yeah, Ahsoka only in the fine tradition of operative 2-pips. She gets Guardian 2 for the round, and when another friendly small base trooper unit at range 1 of Ahsoka Tano is declared a defending unit, it may gain 1 dodge. Seems pretty good to have her nearby Sabine with Nimble or anything.
So that means you can't use it for like MKs and Tawns and things like that, right? Okay. Yeah. But like it's not like a single model trooper unit, right? It's just like
just a small base. Yeah.
It's a little I was confused.
Yeah, I think you called out the right exceptions, the Tawns and the
I don't know. I mean,
you can't do it on FD.
You can't do it on the MKs.
Yeah, and obviously,
if you want your Force user guardianing for Tauntauns, I mean, whatever. Yeah. Like, why is that a problem? I don't know.
So here's what you do: you run it with Sabine, and you put Force Barrier on Ahsoka too. And so you're just like, his dodge. Oh, there goes that hit or crit, and then
Yep. I'm like torn between like barrier or reflexes. Am I crazy? Like
I had reflexes on her originally. Yeah. What am I doing with it right now? I've got push. The version I have right now is burst of speed because I like that goofiness, but I can see that falling off because she's already speed 2, jump 2.
Yeah. The team up card means that like you probably don't need burst of speed because she's getting the extra move. And like, you can also probably spend another action, like recovering once in a while to like get barrier back and push back. So, and then like her 3-pip gives her a recover anyway. So that's really good.
No, you're right. I'll change. I like barrier on that. I still need to get rid of 3 points because I put up close and personal on there.
You're welcome. Good thing I came to the cast. You wouldn't have had barrier on her.
That's maybe.
That's why we brought him to help us build our lists.
Last time we had someone picture Ron to build lists, Evan railroaded me with the list we built him. So,
legendary.
Build me a list, and I'm going to stomp you with it. Yeah, that's an Evan trick.
All right, 3-pip, a new beginning. I can read. Who reads now? Who wants to read? Do you read?
It's not a fight, man. This is our cast. You can read it. You go ahead.
Ahsoka in 2 units. At the start of Ahsoka Tano's activation, she recovers. And when she issues an order to a small base trooper unit, that unit gains either 1 aim or 1 dodge. And she also gets inspired too.
No love for Tauntauns.
Well, I mean, she wasn't on Hoth. So.
Fine. No, this is a really good card. This is like it's pretty much like it's kind of like Sabine's 2-pip and 3-pip combined into 1, except Ahsoka doesn't get the tokens. It's really good. Like, especially paired with like another character like Sabine or even Luke or something like that. Because we're definitely going to see like Ahsoka and Luke lists, right? Like Rebels haven't had an opportunity to run 2 Force users together, and now they do. So it's like we're going to see all that.
I feel like is John already developing all of those?
I bet you he is. Yeah,
that seems like a John thing to do.
Yeah. Bushman for sure is doing it already.
Yeah. This one's cool.
It's a real good, like, getting orders out, like when operatives get to give out orders with their cards, it's solid. And this is like, give some tokens out. Inspire's great. Getting a free recover on a force user that's probably going to have 2 exhaustible force upgrades is pretty solid. I like it. Not as much as I like the 1 pip, though.
No, well, if you like it so much, why don't you read it?
Yes, I do want to read it. I am no Jedi. I am no Jedi. Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano gains Agile 1. While attacking during the form attack pool step, Ahsoka Tano adds 1 white die to her attack pool for each dodge token that she has to a maximum of 3. This is good. This is really good because she's going to have at least 3. She's going to have at least 3 dodges to start. And there's like, it's possible. Yeah. And it's possible she might like have a 4th from like vigilance or something like that from a previous round. And it's like, if she has like tenacity, she's rolling 10 dice and she's going to have 3 or 4 aims to just like fix them into hits or change them to crits. It's like, it's gonna wallop something. I really like the design that like her and Asajj both have this 1 pip that is just like a giant like nuclear weapon that they're just like pointing at something. And like, it's like, I played Asajj the other night and I actually like played against another Asajj and I almost got 1 shot by Asajj. It was gross.
So
this
hear
is
me
really
out.
Cool.
I think there's opportunity because if you're taking Ahsoka, there's probably a really solid chance you've got a rebel officer. Yeah. But like you could put a portable scanner on the officer. You could potentially put a portable scanner on Sabine in replace of her combat shield and put a scanner and like just like build Ahsoka up with dodges as she goes into that turn. Yeah. So you could potentially have 6.
Yeah, I really like the scanner on the officer. I've got that online. I don't know about the scanner on Sabine just because
we could go crazy here. We could put them on like rebel troopers. You could have like 8 dodges. Like we could go to Magic Christmas Land.
Yeah, that's where I always go. Is Magic Christmas Land.
Does Magic Christmas Land have Ewoks yet?
They do, and like they have the Ewok ladies who like came from the city, and then they have to marry like the Christmas tree salesman in the town, and we deal with that a lot.
We deal with that a lot.
Oh gosh. I feel after seeing Ahsoka's cards, I feel pretty good about like she's probably really good. The cards really like made her because like I was feeling kind of like Operative Luke's almost certainly better for like the point difference, and it's like now it's like, well, those are some fun command cards, and they, you're gonna get to really hit something really hard with that 1 pip.
And it puts her in a really cool space where like she's not, it's not an and or, right? It's like, she could do this or she could do this. And I think too, it's like, I don't know. It's really interesting because I think all the single units that AMG has been creating have felt really good. Like I've like their single units. I'm like, I'm like, wow, that like Mando I think is good. I think Asajj is good. I think Boba, like the IG units are all good. Like all these units have been decently balanced, and so like I've been pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, I think Din's come in a little too expensive with some of his upgrades, but like otherwise, I think and like his command cards are good. Like. And his are real simple, but like the IG droids are great. Like IG-88's like, he's not like, whenever I play him, like I'll have like a really good game with him. And then the next game, like I don't. And I think that's fine. Like, and
it's interesting,
obviously
right?
I love me some old man Boba Fett.
Yeah. All the heroes they're getting right. And then you get like dark troopers or like pikes, and you're like, "Whoa, dog!" Or even the Black Suns, right? You're like, "Oh," but like all the single units seem good. Like even Maul for Shadow Collective is a really good balanced unit, and so it's just interesting. Like they've got heroes down for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news there is like there's still a ton of characters that we don't have that we should eventually have, right? Like, I mean, like I was like not gonna lie, I'm definitely really irritated that like Shatterpoint's going to get all of like the Rebels characters before us because like they teased them. Like, it's like, we got Sabine like 3.5 years ago. And it was like, as soon as we got Sabine, I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for like the rest of them. It's going to be so much fun. And then nothing. Like we got Ahsoka, which is great, but it's like, I want the rest of them too. Now it's,
their release schedule for Legion's odd. Right, with
they've bounced all
types.
around. They've bounced all around. Like Sabine and Boss came out together. It's like, it's but yeah, this seems good. Yeah, like seems good. I didn't even think about vets and MKs in this list.
Yeah, dog.
Now I did.
Telling you.
Now I want to do Ahsoka with Saber Throw and add an MK for fire support.
Do that. So here, let me do this real quick.
So gross.
Rebel officer, vigilance, portable scanner. Okay, Ahsoka, push, force barrier, seize into the fray. Sabine, you got seize. You've got hold on, I gotta put this on here. You got seize, portable scanner, grappling line, dark saber. 2 vets with the CM93 and recon. I highly recommend putting recon on vets because there's a ton of times you want to get them up further. It's a good and then the MKs
do that all the time.
Yeah, 2 naked MKs and then 3 snipers. And that's how many points am I at? 785. I still got 15 points to play with. I don't know that you want to bid with or need a bid with this list. I think you can go, Yeah,
I mean, right now, I don't think unless you're bidding.
I feel like I'm in a spot where like I'm not bidding because like I know I'm not going to outbid the lists that are like bidding heavy. I'm
right
there with you.
It just doesn't feel right.
With that being said, you could put offensive push on both the vets, and then you're at 797, and that's a solid hard hitting list.
Yeah,
your back line is strong. You've got Ahsoka and Sabine out front, like doing objectives or like forcing your opponent's list into a certain position, and then you're just holding the back line with your vets, your MKs, and your snipers. I mean, I think it's a really good list.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at I mentioned the Jin thing. So right now I've got Ahsoka, Sabine, Jin, and a Rebel officer. And then just all core. So I've got 2 Rebel troopers with DLTs, 2 Rebel troopers. I'm trying something a little wonky. I've got a couple of Ion.
That's a good idea.
On the Rebel troopers. I still don't love the refresh, but with the rest of the list being other firepower,
you need to just go back and give all of those guns cycle. Give it cycle.
They do. But in this, if I'm using it for what I need it for right now, then sit at range 3 and just kind of shoot and recover until they die. Is the approach on that one. And then I got a single fleet trooper in there. I think right now I have double vigilance, Jin and the officer, and then portable scanner on the officer, like you said, Jay. I think the question in my mind is: does Sabine need the Darksaber and the team up with Ahsoka?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I take it. I mean, most of the time you're taking it mostly for Dauntless, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's mostly there for Dauntless, which is obviously very good. And without her recover card, like she used to be able to play the recover card to just get out of jail free once a game, which was usually enough. I think that it's so many points. It's so many points, and it feels bad if you never need it in a game. And like, there's a lot of value with like you're getting to shoot twice when you surge a crit. Up close and personal really kind of changed my opinion on it a little bit because like
that makes sense.
But then that went up 2 points, so it's like everything's just so damn expensive.
My counter argument to Nick here, okay, and I'm not saying both are right. Just my experience when I was running her with Luke was that I would want to dive into something to do something, and she just couldn't do anything about it. Like she could shoot them, but they would still have like 2 minis left. I'm like, man, if I had a saber, like her whipcord, if I had the grappling line and the dark saber, I could like stop that from getting that boxed, or I could have done something more here. So I just started stapling dark saber onto her because it just because it doesn't stop her from doing the other stuff. It just helps her.
You're right. Yeah. And if you use Dauntless one time to like save you an action, it's worth it.
Right.
Like, it's absolutely worth the 15 points. It's
and with the new suppression rules, I think Sabine's value went way up because her biggest problem in the past was the way you had to, and Nick, I don't know how you were doing it, but like I found the way I had to position Sabine in the past, she would be very close to like a table's edge, or like the way to get around so that she's not getting shot up on her way in, and she would end up panicking off the table or something. Like she always ended up panicking in all my games, and so like the fact that she doesn't move now when she panics, and that all basically goes away down to 2 is like way better for her overall.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, when the panic change happened, they're like, oh, this sucks. They're like, it's like, no, it's way better because now you don't lose your unit. Like, it's like they'll probably die because they'll just keep getting shot. But if if it's near the end of the round, like they probably will be fine.
I've legit lost Sabine more times to panic off the table than I have to her actually dying, because she, with impervious, with her shield, with like everything she's got going on, surge on defense, like I was losing her to panic more than I was to actually being defeated normally.
That adds up.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. I played Sabine a little bit not too long ago, but I'm excited to play her again with Ahsoka.
Yeah. I mean, the positive thing for me is I can play this list I just told you, and I literally only have to paint one model.
Exactly. All your rebels are painted. Yeah. I'm excited when she comes out. Yeah. It's like the whole Ewok army I've got to paint. It's like it'll take me a couple. It'll probably take me a couple weeks, unless like maybe I'll call out sick like for a week and just paint Ewoks. But I probably won't do that. I'm too old for that shit.
I'm the same way with my list. I have to find my 2 MPL Ion. I don't know where those guys are.
You mean you didn't paint 6 like I did? Because I painted all 6.
I absolutely painted them at some point, but like I know I gave one early on. I gave one to Drake for that was his like reference model, because I was like, I'm never going to use this.
There you go.
So you give your kid like a mini to play with and paint. Like it's like, oh, you can have this one here.
Exactly.
Same thing with the Snowtrooper Ions, right? Like Kyle put them in his Blizzard list. I was like, God, I don't even know where those are. Like they're just in a box buried somewhere in pieces, because I was
Stormtrooper HH12s for me. Stormtrooper because like my Stormtroopers were painted like well after like the game came out. We already had specialists, and I'm like, how many of these HH12s do I need? I was like, oh, none. Because Mike was like, can I borrow an HH12 and a Decagon? I was like, yeah, sure. And then I'm like, maybe I don't have one. And I look and I'm like, yeah, dog, I actually have one that I converted the kneeling model and gave him like a regular gun, because I was like, look, so there's like an HH12 arm in the dump somewhere. Like,
I love it.
It's gone.
Something that popped into my head the other day that I just laughed so hard when it hit me. It was like one of those like shower thought things. When we first started, I remember we went to this tournament in Buffalo, and this guy had this beautiful Empire Army all painted, and he had all these HH12s like with these like rockets coming out of them. And I just like thought about like that poor guy put all that time and effort into those, and literally it's been 4 years, and now he can finally use them again. Like they've just been like on a shelf going, God, these pieces of shit I spent all this time on.
My poor ATSD that I've never played, not because it's bad, because like I just never get around to playing it, and like now I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh my God!
I feel like that HH12 guy. There's a very again niche audience, like Pixar short version of that experience. So it starts with the music, and he's lovingly painting these HH12s, and he has all of them. And then the seasons and the years go by, and Luke Cook wins Worlds, and and then he wins it again in the pandemic and all that stuff. And then finally, they're
I'm back.
They're back.
The HH12s are back.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you, Nick, if you need another ATST, I do not have a shortage. I have 5 painted and put together.
What?
Well, it's all about the feel. Like, do I want to like beat up?
Do I want today?
Yeah, it's like, do I want the 2 beat up?
Oh my God, I don't even have time for that.
ATSTs that have been on the planet for a while, or do I want the brand new ones? Like, it's all about the feel of how I'm feeling the army's going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some research about that specific Chewbacca ATST to see what it looks like. Get all the scorch marks exactly correct on it.
Well, I mean, it probably got hit by one of those trees, so you might have to take the downed ATST and like put the side that's got bashed in. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna make a 6th one, guys. Oh no.
I have my ATST already for Rebels. I've got to get it painted. I'm so excited for my Ewoks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Next week, Mandalorian Super Commandos. Finally, a year and a half after I got my Shadow Collective, I'm finally going to get some paint on them.
Nice. Cool. One thing we didn't really touch on, we kind of inferred it, but you mentioned Ahsoka for you felt so much better when you saw the command cards, and she certainly as an individual unit. And we kind of talked about some of the combos with like Sabine, but I think there's some really powerful, like she's going to be a really fascinating, interesting combo player. Like you do one of her cards followed by explosions or rule to respect or any of these others in here.
Rebels have so many good characters and command cards available in those pool and like in the pool that I was making awkward Cassian lists without K2 because I'm like, there's some like good, like, I mean, like, hey, there's some like really good stuff with like Last Stand and what's the 3-pip called? Volunteer Mission. Right. Yeah. Like there's just some like really, really good stuff like available through all these command cards. And it's like, it's just really hard to like pick everything and like choose everything. And that's why I always like want Lando to be good. Cause like, then you can bring them all.
I do like Lando a lot. I was trying to screw around with that, but it was taking me below 9 activations.
No, he's bad. He's not worth 105 points. It's crazy. It's crazy. Contingencies is a keyword that's locked behind 2 overpriced characters.
Yeah,
that's it. No, like I want like a command upgrade that adds contingencies. Like, let's make that a thing. Like, let's make that a thing. Like, put it on the officer. Like, have like contingencies 1 or something like that for like 5 points. Like, yeah, I'm all about that. Seems great. But yeah, I'm excited. Legion. We're in season 3 now, right? Because we've had 2 worlds. Yep. 2 worlds. We're in season 3. Yeah. Season 2 took a long time to get through. God,
there was the writer's strike.
There was the writer's strike.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on our plates for today? I think we covered a lot of stuff.
I think so. Excited about the future for Legion and for us. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I am excited. I got off work today. Is exhausting. I hate work.
we had to get him talking about Ahsoka Sabine to get him to remember how excited he is about our work with you, Jay. So.
I mean, listen, I'm very it's weird. Ewoks, Ahsoka. No, that's pretty much it so far. And the new OP structure has gotten me really excited about Legion again. I really didn't care about any of the other stuff. Like,
I don't know, most of that stuff tick boxes for me. It's stuff that like
it's fine. I just
want to play Bad Batch, but Bug Army is cool. Like, give me a Bug Army and Legion.
Yeah, each of those, I'm glad they're coming because I think it continues to fill out the game. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see the details because speaking, like in each of these units we've seen so far with the details, my favorite part about this game since the beginning has been the thematic accuracy, and we're seeing that every single time still, I think, in each of these units. And so I'm excited to see how that is captured for the bugs and for Bad Batch and all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to see more. Like, I would love to see more stuff from Mandalorian. I think there's a ton of cool stuff there. I think there's still a ton of stuff from the original movies and the prequel movies that still hasn't come out for Legion that I would love to see. I still want to see a special forces Jedi unit of Padawans. Like that would be super cool.
Totally.
They get a command card that says when Anakin's on the field, they just get eliminated.
Yeah.
The younglings. The younglings.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Jay, thanks for coming by.
Thank you, guys.
If anyone's still listening and hasn't signed up, pop over to the Fifth Trooper Patreon. It's a good place to be. I'm not just a member. I'm a Patreon as well. Whatever the flow of that should have actually been.
There's an uncomfortable number of people who work for the Fifth Trooper that are also Patreon supporters. For me, you know what I mean? It's you don't have to do that, right? No, it's fine. I want to be part of this.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand it.
I was in the military. My paycheck came from taxes, and I still paid my taxes. So
right. You could look at it that way. Patreon is not a tax for you, though, sir.
That's all right. That's all right. Your Fifth Trooper's not the military either.
No, far from it.
Maybe stripes for anyone. Yeah. That's what Fifth Trooper really is.
Yeah, that's much more reasonable.
If I haven't started the outro music by now, I probably should have started. So we'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Thanks, everyone.